Next morning when I woke up, she was still sleeping. During the night, we ended up facing each other. When I opened my eyes, I found myself looking at her angelic face. Her hair was all over me. Her hand was still holding onto my shirt like the time it was back at the plane. I could feel her breath on my lips. I wanted to stay there. More than anything, I wanted to lay next to her forever. And I wanted to kiss her so much. But all I could think of was Nicole's face. I carefully reached for my phone in my pocket. Nicole left me a text.
Hey you, wanted to surprise you before you go to Hong Kong. I'm in LA. Call me when you wake up. I love you.
Oh shit, .gif. I go pale. My mouth dries up. My heart starts beating to a fight or flight moment. I gently put Ella's hand down and back off without waking her up. I grab my things and exit the house without anyone noticing. I call Nicole. She tells me to meet her on Venice Beach, grab a bite to eat on the way, coffee to wake up. The moment I see her, I realize the mistake I've made. My hair is all messed up. I'm still wearing yesterday's clothes. I didn't even brush my teeth, and my entire body smells like Ella's perfume. Never go full retard.avi. It's too late. She sees me and starts running towards me and jumps to my arms. She digs her lips into my mouth, holds me tightly, starts kissing me furiously. Then she slows down, and then she completely stops. Her hands and arms lose their grasp on me, slowly pulls away. She gently pushes me back to take a better look at me. She sees the guilt and fear on my face. Her pupils dilate. She starts turning red. Her eyes fill with fury and anger like nothing I've seen before. Her right hand pulls back and flies into my face. It lands perfectly. My ears start ringing. My vision is blurred. She doesn't talk. I don't have anything to say for myself. I just stay there with half of my face completely numb, unable to face her, unable to look her in the eyes. She slowly turns around and starts walking. Looks back. You coming? She looks at me with tear-filled mad eyes. I obey and start following her. We sit on a bench overlooking Venice Beach. We sit there for a few minutes before she finally asks, "Did you sleep with her?" She doesn't look at me. No.
Did you kiss her?
No. She stops for a moment. I realize what's coming, that it's too late. She turns to me with a face full of tears of anger.
You're in love with her?
I can't say anything. I just sit there, my head as low as it can go.
For how fucking long, Anon?
Her voice trembles.
How long?
She asks again, barely audible. I don't know. She hesitates for a moment and then starts talking again.
I should have known. For the past month, you were all Ella could talk about, Anon.
I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I wake up to the shock of this revelation. She talked to you about me? I ask her, with a skeptical and messed up face.
Yeah.
She opens her eyes wide, sarcastically.
Can you believe that? You became her number one friend, her confidant, her BFF.
She violently finger quotes her snappish remark. I don't have anything to say to Nicole.
And I can't be angry at her for getting close to you, Anon.
She stopped.
Would you?
She gets close to my face and puts her index finger sharply to my chest.
You should have known better.
Tapping my chest with her finger.
Answer me, Anon,
she whispers.
Answer me!
What? I turn to her. She jumps back with a surprise. This was the first time she has seen me scream at anyone, let alone her. What do you want me to say, Nicole? That I love her? That I care for her? That no matter how I feel about you, I can't control how I also feel about her? That even when you and I were just friends and Ella was with Pete, I couldn't help but feel a strong desire for her? Nicole didn't talk. She just stood there and watched me talk with a heartbroken face. What do you want me to say, Nicole? What do you want me to say? That the first thing I felt was relief when Pete told me that she broke up with him? Okay, she whispered and stared into the distance. We continued to talk, getting angry at each other at times. But it was more upsetting than vexing. After an hour of furious argument, we were tired. Even when pissed off, Nicole didn't hold back her love for me. She got close to me and put her head on my shoulder, and we started watching the sunset. You know what, Anon? She spoke kindly, like a whisper. There isn't enough sex tricks in the world to keep you away from Ella. I froze. I felt like a sharp object has pierced through my chest. And there isn't enough small jokes, bouquet of flowers, or boxes of chocolate that Pete can come to her door with. She sighed. So he can hold on to Ella. I couldn't speak, couldn't breathe. And it's all right, Anon. No matter what we do, you guys were made for each other. She spoke as she gave into reality. So, you go ahead. I told you that you were mine until we both decided otherwise. And we both decided otherwise. You know that. I sat there, with Nicole's head on my shoulder, staring blankly into the crowd of people on Venice Beach, knowing that there's no amount of rights I can make to fix the wrong I did her. The person who loved me so blindly, so vigorously, that even in the moment of her defeat, she still wanted what was best for me. Just do one last thing for me, she whispered. I turned my face to her and kissed her with a passion like I never have. She held my face in her small hands and broke our bond. Go, she said, trying to hold back her tears. Go before I change my mind. Go! She started to cry. Holding her hand, I got up. I hesitantly started stepping away. Our arms stretched and reached their length as our fingertips grazed each other and broke away. I started walking backwards, looking at her, realizing what I've done, feeling like shit. Nicole wasn't looking at me. Her head dropped. The palms of her hands were trying to hide the tears. She was quietly sobbing. I gasped for air and forced myself away from her, trying not to think about it. Running away like an asshole. I must have walked for 3 hours, not knowing what to do. It was getting late. I finally made my decision. I hailed a cab and gave the driver Ella's home address. I arrive at Ella's house. I approach her door, not knowing what to expect. I ring the bell. The door opens. My heart stops when I see her. She lowers the cell phone from her ear, looks at me. That was Nicole. She shakes the phone in her hand. Her beautiful green eyes are bloodshot, tears running down her face. She closes the door. Ella! I breathlessly shriek. I turn my back to her door. I start walking, and then collapse. I start crying like a bitch. This is just too much. First Nicole, and now Ella. The door quietly clicks open again. The afternoon sun casts a shadow over me. The shadow eagerly waits. What did she say to you? I can barely speak. That you love me more than her, you stupid fuck! A cold hand grabs my collar and pulls me with force. I stumble and walk to Ella's door, following her stern pace. Tears and snot on my face, ugly as fuck as I pass through the doorway. She turns around, violently slams the door with a flick of her hand, and pins me to the shut door with force, stuffs my face with her lips. My heart is beating like a jackhammer. She just stays frozen, her lips nailed to mine, Her chilled hands hanging from my collar, her intense kiss gently becomes tender, and she stops kissing me. Clumsily wipes my wet face with her hands, sporadically chuckling her heart out while crying tears of joy.
You look like shit,
She laughs nervously. I smile and laugh.
Come on, you need a shower.
She drags me to her bathroom and gives me fresh towels. I take a shower for an hour, trying to calm my nerves, trying to make sense of this calamity. I take way longer than usual, knowing that when I get out, I will have to face her and have a talk. I finally get out and wrap myself with her towels, go to her room. Ella is in her PJs. Her hair is wet. She must have had a shower too. She's sitting on her bed all curled up, holding onto her legs. She has a deeply concerned look on her face. I sit next to her and stare at the wall, expecting a million questions. She simply says, "Go ahead, say it." I don't understand. I mean, say what? "Say it," she tells me again with a calm voice. "I love you." "Good." She puts her hands on my face and her lips on mine and gives me the warmest, most gentle kiss I could have imagined. We fall back to the bed. She embraces me.